I had to tell my friend she stunk and it cost us our friendship. Story time. So I used to have this friend that I would only see about once or twice a year. And normally when I saw her, everything was good, nothing, out of the ordinary, and we got along great. Well, the last time I saw her, she stayed at my house for a couple days, and that's when I noticed that she had a bit of an odor. And initially I was like, okay, maybe she just had a long day, maybe she's just funky from traveling. I know if I don't shower all day, I can get a bit funky, so it's not a big deal, you know what I mean? Just go take a shower and refresh. So I decided that I wasn't going to say anything that first day. I was like, you know what? Things happen. We hung out all day. We ended up showering at nighttime, but then we immediately went to bed. So I didn't get a good whiff of her. But I slept upstairs in my bedroom and she slept downstairs in the living room. Keep that in mind. The next day I wake up and I come downstairs to feed my animals and whatnot. And I notice a smell as I'm walking downstairs and it smelled horrible. I mean, it smelled like somebody boiled some fish and left it out all week and forgot to toss it out. It just smelled, it was wild. I've never smelled anything like that before in my life. And on top of that, I wasn't 100% sure where the smell was coming from. So I didn't confront her about it, but I did ask her if she smelled anything weird. And she was like, no, I don't smell anything. It smells fine in here to me. You don't smell that fish? It stink. So I sprayed some Febreze and we kind of just went about our day. And the entire day I kept getting big whiffs of it. And I was like, is it me? You know how you smell something, you think it's you, so you start, is it me? No, baby, it was her. And I finally realized that it was her because she had went to go take a shower. And right after she got out the shower, I had to use the bathroom. So I walked into the bathroom. It was humid in there. And I got hit with a wave of just humidity and funk and nastiness and fishy and gross. It's just, like I said, I have no words to describe. I have no idea. I've never smelled anything like that in my life. And I think conversations like this are a little awkward. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to say anything. So hopefully she realizes it and just kind of gets herself together. I don't know. We hung out all day again, going into the city, coming back here, doing arts and crafts, watching movies, and everything was good. But every time I got a whiff, it would just ruin the entire day. I'm just like, I can't. I think I have to say something. So the next day, I mustered up some courage to have this awkward conversation with her, thinking that I was being a good friend by letting her know. So I come downstairs, she's sitting on the couch, I get hit with a wave of the funk, and I'm like, okay, yeah, you really do need to say something. So I go over to her, I sit down, and I'm like, I think I want to tell you something, but I just don't know how to say it, and I hope you don't get mad at me, but I feel like somebody should tell you. So at this point, we're sitting face to face, I'm smelling the smell, and I'm like, there's an odor that I can smell from you, and I think it's coming from your downstairs area. I don't know if something is going on. I don't know if it's not to sound ignorant, but I don't know if it's that time of the month and you're just not properly cleansing it or whatever. But I just want you to know that it smells pretty bad and I kind of think you should go get checked because it smelled like death. It smelled like something was dying in there, literally decaying. Y'all, she got immediately offended and was like, how do you know it's me? How do you know it's not your smelly home? How do you know it's not your smelly dogs and your smelly cat? And I'm just like, okay, girl, calm down. I'm just trying to tell you something to help you out. So then I was like, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I'm just trying to tell you, it's pretty bad. That smell isn't normal. Like I said, it smells like something crawled up there and died. I didn't say that part, but I should have, the way she was coming at my animals. But I digress. She needed to get checked. And it didn't matter what I said. She was not trying to hear it. All she heard was that I was saying that she stunk and I was attacking her and this, that, and the third thing. So needless to say, she packed up early and left my house. That was the last time I seen her or heard of her or anything like that. She unfriended me on all social media, blocked me on all social media. It is what it is. But my question to y'all is, was I wrong for telling her that she smelled bad? I feel like if you're a good friend, you would be able to tell your friend, you're a little funky. Even if you're funky downstairs. Or even if I'm super concerned that you should probably get checked. I'm letting you know as a friend, but it's out of my hands now. Hopefully she's not funking up nobody else's house.
Story time about how I texted all the women in my boyfriend's phone to tell them that I was pregnant with his child. My boyfriend has a lot of female friends. In fact, that's how our relationship started out. We're both dancers and we met at the same dance conservatory. This means we are constantly surrounded by people our age who are always trying to go out and have fun. I moved to New York City in the hopes of becoming a rockette. This meant I was completely devoted to dancing. In my world, there's nothing but dancing and working out. So the moment I met my now boyfriend, I was smitten. When he comes into the room, people gravitate towards him, especially the girls. Because yes, he is attractive and he's a dancer, so you can imagine what his body looks like. He's graceful but masculine. He's sensitive but strong. Before he and I ever talked, I just assumed he was a huge player. He was always with a new girl every single day. And I don't mean like with her, just like talking to her, walking to classes. But everything changed the moment we were partnered. Our dance teacher stopped the class, only to have everyone watch us dance for the next 40 minutes. He said that our bodies were made for each other. And after that class, he would not leave me alone. He chased me for about 3 months. You're never gonna guess what happens. Part 2 is up. Story time about how I texted all the women in my boyfriend's phone and told him that I was pregnant with his child. After he began chasing me for 2 months, I felt like the luckiest girl in the world. Every single girl in our conservatory wanted to be with him, but he was chasing me. The best part is, our teacher paired us up for the rest of the semester. This meant that we had to dance together every single day, go to rehearsals together. Like I said in part 1, in my world, there was only dancing and working out. I did not have time for a relationship, but against my better judgment, I decided to say yes. From one day to the next, our relationship was as serious as it could possibly get. I felt like I wasn't ready for it, but I wanted to be. We were together all day long, dancing together, going to get lunch, rehearsing, and he even switched over to my gym and we would work out together. And magically, all the girls went away. There weren't any girls chasing him anymore. And for a moment in time, everyone wanted to be with us. I even started getting more attention from boys than I did before. But one day, I see messages coming into his phone. The jealousy I felt in my body was poisoning me. And when I asked him who it was, he said it was just a dancer from school. Part 3 is up. Story time about how I texted all the women in my boyfriend's phone to let them know that I was pregnant with his child. When I saw that message come through, the jealousy I felt was poisoning my body. I asked him and he said it was just one of the girls from school. And after this, I actually could not sleep. I felt nauseous and sick. And without even thinking about it, it was 3 in the morning. I grabbed his phone and I texted all the women in his phone. Every single one. And all I said was, stop trying to text me or contact me. I'm having a baby. And then I stayed awake for another 2 hours hoping that they would text me back so I could delete everything. I texted 70 something girls. That's how many girls he had saved in his phone. And then the most horrendous thing, they were not happy. From the responses, so many were like in love with him. A few of them were begging him to leave me, saying things like the baby wasn't his and that I wasn't good enough for him. Right before I fell asleep, another message came in. One of the girls saying, it doesn't matter, I'll still see you tomorrow. Come to find out he had still been hooking up with girls, but he got upset when I told him that I texted everybody, so I told him that I would forgive him his sins if he forgave me mine. I know this is toxic, but I can't let go of this relationship. He's everything I've ever wanted. Am I taking things too far?
Y'all, throw back to this one time. I remember I was talking to this one boy, and I remember like we were dating, everything like that, or dating or whatever, right? So I remember we was talking or whatever, and I remember we were trying to drive around trying to find food, and I remember we used to always go to this taco place or whatever. So mind you, I remember we ended up going to the taco place. They ended up saying that they needed cash. He didn't have any cash on him, mind you. I don't carry cash because I think it's dirty. So I remember we were driving around in his car or whatever, trying to find like an ATM. So I remember we went to his bank. He couldn't take out cash. I can't remember what the excuse was, but he couldn't take out cash. I remember the next time we went to like this corner store, he couldn't take out cash, and he went inside the bank or somewhere else to try and get cash, and he couldn't get cash, right? So I said, okay, well, let's just go to Wendy's instead, because like honestly, let's just go to Wendy's because I don't carry cash with me, whatever, it's fine, right? So mind you, we go to Wendy's and everything like that. We're like in the driver, like I'm in the passenger seat, whatever. He's like ordering his food and everything like that. And I remember he made a joke. He was like something about his card declining or whatever, and I was like laughed it off, right? So I remember we get up to the window and his card ended up declining. Mind you, it was like $16 like for all the food together. Like his card ended up declining, right? So I remember like he was making like a whole thing that, oh my god, my card declined, like, this is so embarrassing. I feel like he was joking or whatever. Because mind you, like I just thought it was weird. So I remember I took out my phone and I just paid for the meal because I was like, okay, it's not that serious. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'll just pay for the meal. Like, it's $16. Like, you know what I mean? This man ended up telling me, like, I think when we got home, he ended up telling me, he was like, oh yeah, I lied. My card actually didn't decline. I locked it to see if you was a real one, to see if you would pay for my food and all that stuff. And I looked at him, I'm like, well, did it ever get broke? Like, what the heck is wrong with you, right? But I remember, y'all, I remember we were driving around for like a solid like 10-15 minutes. Mind you, I'm hungry too, so like I was already kind of mad already. But we were driving around trying to find an ATM for him to take out cash on that stuff. And then I can't remember what the excuse was, but like basically he could not take out cash. Whole time his card was just, he like locked his card to see if I was a real one to try and pay. Poor girl, it's a $16 meal. Like, it was never that serious, right? And I always thought that situation was just so weird, because I just thought like if you wanted me to pay for it, just, you know what I mean, like I'd pay for it. Like I just thought the whole testing me to see if I would pay for a $16 food thing at Wendy's was never that serious. Like, you gotta test me when we really go out for it. Like, anyways, I just thought that was so interesting.